the 2 hour, or the time limits instead of charging for the grades. But thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else want to weigh in on the subject this evening? Yes.
One quick one.
I was going to ask twice.
One of the things of discussion that is we're looking at possibly building a new parking deck. The goal of going extra money is to fund that parking deck so the taxpayers don't have to fund that parking deck. Or is that mixed up?
I think that there's a couple of things that we would fall into that category. One being that, as I stated earlier, these funds and figures do not include any future projects the way it's currently set up. And I think the city manager, and when we come back to this committee, I believe it's going to be somewhere on June 26th, 24th, 26th, FOP meeting, will be presented 3 presentations that has been postponed until this time. We'll come forward and we'll start that discussion. I believe that the TIF district is one of the things that's really being interested in being used in that project. And again, the city manager may have some further comment on that, as that's really his expertise.
City manager?
Not a lot at this point. It's all speculative. And so what I would say to you, though, is that depending upon the option that is selected, and you'll have 3, there may be others, but we know 3 options relative to additional parking and or development in the downtown. One of them lends itself to creating additional tax increment, which is part of the tax increment financing district. If that increment is created, and it could be used for additional parking structures. How much increment is created is another issue, and it will drive actually what the city eventually does. A decision would have to be made to use the increment for parking purposes. It is a chicken and egg kind of situation. It's very difficult. Not only do we have to maintain these structures and maintain the downtown, but if you listen to the merchants, they talk about, they use Portsmouth as an example, where there's a central parking garage. And so parking becomes very important. And on that side of that quadrant of the city or the downtown, there's a need for additional parking, particularly as the city grows. Which goes first, the development or the parking deck? You have to have a way to pay for the parking deck. So we do need some development to offset the cost. Very little money, or at least certainly not the amount needed, would come in from meters or reserve spaces. That's a portion of the revenue that could be used to offset the debt service, but it's not adequate to fund the entire structure. So those are the kind of issues that we'll have. Sometimes they drive other concerns or possibilities, including tax credits or new market tax credits. So depending upon what combinations of these things occur, it could put more money into the project or to adjacent projects. And so that's a conversation that we hope to have with the council going forward, but we're not prepared right now.
Anything further?
Tom,